and having to, I'm not saying that made him kill all those people, but I'm saying that he lived a life that you see like the building blocks of decisions and like the family members who put him into gang life in Connecticut, in Bristol. You see the impact that his father's death had on him from an early age, but also like the trauma that his father imparted onto him before his dad died. There's just a lot of parts to it. His dad was like very, according to the show, this is a dramatization, but the homophobia, the like just super into like beating your kid into doing what you want them to do.
Okay. All right.
I'm just saying, then he went to Florida where a lot of things got excused.
Come on in. Yeah,
they held his hand. He failed a drug test. They threw it out before the SEC championship game.
Do we have the story of
we got
what
Cam
happened?
Newton's laptop.
Oh, great. Do we have the story of what happened on that Tim Tebow night out?
Yes.
What happened?
Well, it's in the show.
Oh, it is? Well, what happened?
The one where they're at the bar and he punches the bartender in the face?
Is that what happened?
That's what the show portrays it as.
Oh, that can't be it.
And the show portrays it as this like constant idea of Aaron Hernandez trying to hide who he really is from his teammates and then taking out in various forms of aggression on other people.
Okay.
It's an interesting portrayal of a story that we all know. The Aaron Hernandez show.
The new one?
Yeah, the new one.
It's different. I don't know how to be making so many of these shows about the same thing.
I don't know how Ryan Murphy is making so many shows, period.
There's going to be another Lorenzen Wright show.
Another one?
Another one?
No, I'm just saying there will be.
Yes, there will be.
There absolutely will.
Ryan Murphy's probably already on it. Right now he has the Aaron Hernandez show. He has the Menendez brothers show. He has some other show that Travis Kelce has popped up in. That's like a horror show. And then he has a weird, like, soapy drama that's on a cruise. That's a lot of shows at one time.
Who is this?
The creator, Ryan Murphy. He did American Horror Story.
Oh, wow. He's busy.
He did Glee. He's really multifaceted.
I see.
It's all across the board, you know? Making sure he's hitting all the things.
All right, Brevin, we got to be quiet. Jessica's got to talk now.
Thank you. But it's exciting because Brevin Knight's here. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, October 10th. Going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, the wonderful Brevin Knight joins us in studio to help preview the first Grizzlies preseason home game, and you'll be able to watch it on Bally Sports Southeast with your favorite crew of Brevin, Pete Pranica, and Rob Fisher. We'll talk Jaws injury updates, Zach Edey, the new look offense, all the things with the Grizzlies. Then Teresa Walker is going to join us in the third segment. We'll talk about the Tennessee Titans, who are back in action this weekend. Does she expect Will Levis to be back and able to play against the Colts? Can the Vols bounce back? And the SEC and the Big Ten are having a little tea party in Nashville today. We'll get her take on all those happenings. We'll end with a little Theater Thursday. Is this the year of the Cougar movie? They absolutely butchered the Wicked poster. And we have this year's Met Gala theme, and it's fascinating. You know what we say, CJ. Go Grimace Mets. Go Grimace Mets. Go Grimace Mets.
OMG Mets.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering, to those with a history of raising their performance to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy.
Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st, and you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
If you were promised by an assistant coach somewhere $100,000 to transfer to a school, and we got, pretty deep into the season, fourth game's coming up, and you still ain't got your money, you walking away like Matt Sluka is at UNLV?
If I'm promised this and the checks aren't coming,
right.
I'm a businessman first, right? Like, forget this academic stuff. These are not student athletes anymore. Right. These are paid independent contractors to play football.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The home dogs are barking. How about the Minnesota Vikings? Home dog the last 2 weeks. They've been a dog in all 3 games this season. They're 3-0, winning by 22, winning by 6, and winning by 27. Dominating their opponent, dominating the point spread, 3-0 against the number. And then they're a dog again this week, aren't they? At Green Bay. 2.5 point dog at Green Bay.
They are dogging it.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Is Ja Morant the player in the NBA with the most approved going into this season?
Ja Morant is one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
On the court, there is no question, barring injury, that what Ja Morant is.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz Beat, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, beautiful people? Happy Thursday. It's almost Friday, and we got a Memphis Grizzlies home game at FedEx Forum tonight. It's a preseason game, but it is a home game. And Brevin Knight is going to be on the broadcast on Valley Sports Southeast, and he joins us this morning.
Wow, look at this early in the year call.
Welcome back. A preseason call.
Listen, I feel like, that they have those middle relievers, and then I feel like right now I'm in that middle reliever. I'm not closing. But I'm setting things up for this year. Usually y'all wait till later in the year to get me. I blame CJ. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
But now
I do put it in his hands, and then he'll randomly tell me, "Oh, I think Brevin's coming on the show Thursday," and I'm like, "Yes, I have something." Well,
ask him when this is the most lead time he's ever given me.
That's fantastic.
To say, am I going to come? Am I going to come on the show?
That's on growth.
I've seen the show. I've seen the show grow, and as the show has grown, I see personal growth within the show. That's just let you know how great of an influence this show has been.
Well, I just wanted you to get the preseason opportunity because the preseason is for all of us. It's not just for the team. We get 5 games to all get back into it. I pulled into the parking lot this morning. I forgot we have to park in the special little spots. Well, you don't because you have a professional parking spot.
No, I don't. Let me be honest with you. I don't know.
I do. But then I have to leave so that I can't come back to get the parking spot. So already in my brain, I was like, okay, I got to get here at this certain time, and then the food situation. But we're here. You came back yesterday. You're like fresh back in Memphis.
Yes, I am. But periodically I came back and forth. But yes, came back last night, and but I'm ready. I was ready watching the first preseason game, and I was ready a month ago, and now I'm just even more excited that not only do I get to watch it, but we get to talk about it also.
I know, and it's one of those things where it was such a long off season.
Yes.
Like we've been fortunate enough in the last few years, and the majority of years here in Memphis, to at least have some postseason games for the Grizzlies to play. And so for the offseason to start as early as it did, it's felt long. It's been a constant reminder of what last season was. Even in the first preseason game, they popped the little graphic up about all the games missed to injuries. And I was like, we're going to have to hear and relive this over and over again. Unfortunately, we have had to talk about an injury multiple injuries. I don't know why I put that as a singular opportunity. But Jaren Jackson Jr. dealing with a hamstring strain. Haven't seen him in the preseason. We have Gigi Jackson and Vince Williams Jr., who will both start the season out. Cam Spencer dealing with an ankle injury. And then we see Ja roll his ankle in that first game in Dallas. Came back and then ultimately left. Taylor Jenkins confirmed yesterday it's a mild ankle sprain. There's no concern with season opener availability, but they will be cautious throughout the preseason. Do you think we see him again in the preseason? Do you hope we do?
I think maybe I would hope maybe the last preseason game or maybe one of the last two.
Yeah.
Just something to exactly something just to give him some more game preparation, some more games pace leading up to that. But there's no need in pressing the issue at all at this point with what this team went through last year, where they envision themselves being at the end of this year. These preseason games are meaningless in that respect, but they do want to, because there is a new offense, because guys do want to get in shape, do want to get acclimated against each other. You will maybe say 1.5 games that he plays, but if it's not right, 0 games.
Right. And again, it's one of those things, it's not important for the sense of a preseason. The preseason does not actually matter, but it's one of those things leading into 82 games. You would hope that perhaps if the opportunity was there at the end and he is good enough, same with Jaren Jackson Jr. by the time we get to the end of the preseason, if we can see a real preview of what this could all look like.
In real time,
right?
Like in a real, because that last game, other teams will probably be at least for a half or even more playing their regulars, and so the pace of the game it may more resemble what you will see in a regular season game than just a preseason. And for this team, it's very important to get off to a good start. That is because the West is what it is. There have been some changes. You want to be one of those teams that pads as many wins as you can. And so I think a great start will do this team well, just to also just put the bad taste of last season totally out of play.
Yeah. What have you made of the new offense? I know we've only seen it in one game, but we've heard a lot about it. First game, preseason action. A lot of turnovers, but a lot of assists, a lot of team assists, a lot of ball movement, just constant movement, which is going to lend itself towards more turnovers, maybe a little sloppiness here early on. But what have you seen?
I said the other day, the first thing is you got to be in shape.
Tip-top shape.
Conditioning is going to be at a premium, but the depth of this team, I think, also helps in that fashion. In that someone gets tired, there is someone that you can go to and put in and feel confident that they can get the job done. And a lot of that was because of last year, guys had to step up and do more. But as you said, there's the motion side of it. Still mixed with some plays that they will run. And right, I thought in that game it just looked haphazard. And that's because it's your first real basketball game. The shot clock is on. The referees are out there. Fouls are called. Now you get into just playing game, and I thought they were thinking more than just playing freely. And as they become more comfortable with what and how they want to get things accomplished on the end, then I think it'll flow a lot better. But the biggest thing is the pace is going to be there. And it's still going to be predicated on being able to get stops. And if they get the stops, to be able to get out and run. But I think it'll be an exciting brand of basketball once you get everybody on the same page of how and what to do, when to do it.
And the literal biggest thing out there is Zach Edey.
Yes.
Who all eyes are on the 7'4" rookie and what he can be as the presumed starting center for this team opening night. What did you make of the first minutes of action that we saw from Zach Edey? He did end up getting in foul trouble, but I thought the first 2 minutes we saw what he does defensively, which is he's in the paint, he's going to force other opponents to change their shot, and if they go up, he just might block it.
I thought it was an okay first outing.
Right.
I mean, it's just he really hadn't played basketball against NBA level players at all. That was really his first game. You think he got hurt in the summer league. Didn't play much at that juncture, so that was a first game for him at that level. Something that was a telltale for me was they were happy switching pick and rolls with him being the guy that was in the switch. So there's some level of lateral quickness or even an understanding of how to use his size and space guard. So and then we saw later on, even against the 7'5" big from Dallas, he was still able to get the ball in the post. And I really loved that little jump hook that he had. And so incorporating that into the motion offense is something that I think will help him. But you've heard from everybody say his impact is not going to always be what the numbers are.
Right.
A lot of it is going to be positioning. Can you change shots? Does you start breaks with rebounding? On the other end, do you set good screens? Do you stay out of foul trouble, understand what that looks, and being in the right position? So it's good that there's not a lot of pressure on him to have to produce numbers-wise, but I think the nuances and that the other parts gives him a leg up.
It is one of those things that stands out of you start looking at how a team is constructed to beat other teams at times, and no one makes that more clear than Victor Wembanyama, who played last night in the Spurs preseason game. And when you see these Victor Wembanyama highlights, it's so unfair. Like the Victor Wembanyama pump fake from out, and I think we have the highlight that we can run, but it's unguardable. I mean, how do you stop this? But you're trying to, and from the Grizzlies' perspective, you think, okay, well, you would have Zach Edey in the paint, you have Jaren Jackson Jr. who can operate as a roamer, but that's the future right there in Victor Wembanyama. I know the NBA GM survey said if they were building a franchise around a single player, almost overwhelmingly the choice is Victor Wembanyama, and it's clear to see why.
Well, and the reason why is because he's dedicated to both ends of the floor.
Yes.
So you see what he does on this offensive end. You think it's pretty much unguardable, unstoppable, but then he also goes on the defensive side, and he is a menace on that end, whether it's blocking shots out on the floor, changing shots at the rim. He's versatile in how and who he guards. And so I think because of all of those factors, you put him as one of those guys that, heck yeah, you would have him be a centerpiece and build the other things around. And I think the one thing you saw in that clip there wasn't just the move. It was the guy who was telling everybody to get back after he made the dunk, which was Chris Paul, which will make a huge difference for that team. Now, can he stay healthy enough for how long? I take they will not play him super amount of minutes, but if you want a young guy to grow and have someone help him continue to ascend, there's no better person than Chris Paul to have next to him.
Watching the Chris Paul to Wemby lob got just as much traction last night on the internet sphere as the jaw to Edey lob for the first time. So we'll continue to see how that all goes. Speaking of dunks, before we get back to the Grizzlies, someone in the chat, King Meeks, wanted me to ask you why you were dunking in practice but would not dunk in games.
Oh, because the number one, that's at least someone listens to the podcast every now and then. That's a good thing.
The Nightcast?
That's I like
the
that.
Night
The
Court,
Night Court.
excuse me.
Yeah.
That was my bad.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. We know.
I listened to it.
All right. Thank you for your.
You and Rob Fisher.
Yeah, me and Fish have a good time. But the thing is, why is because I could only dunk under certain circumstances. So the ball had to be at the right level. It had to either come off of the rim on a missed shot at the right level. Everything had to be right.
Perfect.
And the one thing you don't want to do, am I in this camera? You don't want to do is you do not want to go out and miss a dunk. That is not what you want to do for your first, second, or any attempt. And so for me, it was never the right time. I can miss as much as I want in practice, and then one goes down, and I think, oh, yeah, I can dunk. But I kept it there.
There was this old song, Flight of the Conchords song called Business Time, and it would be, conditions are perfect. Your conditions had to be perfect.
Perfect.
For the dunk. So do you want to team up? They're doing another company 3-on-3 tournament this year, and it went so well for me 2 years ago. Do you want to be on my team?
I don't want to be on your team.
Are you sure?
I will coach any team that needs a coach, but if it involves playing,
you're out.
I'm out.
I'm also out. But I think I really want to freak HR out and just submit my name for a team and see what they say.
I think you are right now on the official ban list.
I'm surprised I was on the email. I'm surprised they didn't figure out a way to cut me out of the email. Yeah, absolutely. I am a little upset that they're not calling it the Jessica Benson Memorial 3-on-3 tournament. I get that I'm not dead, but my Achilles died with the last one around. So, okay, good to know. You're not involved. I'm not involved. CJ, are you going to play?
Hell yeah, I'm going to play.
We're coming to cheer on CJ.
Why won't I play?
I will drive you to the
talking
emergency
about?
room if I need to
Jessica, I'm
pay
an
back
athlete,
the good
baby.
deeds.
I won't need to go to the emergency room.
Okay.
When is this?
October 25th?
It's in October?
Yeah, it's coming up. It's 15 days away. I'm going to remake.
I'm playing, and this said, is it October?
I thought I had time to get in shape.
No, it's. I'm sorry. You have
it.
2 less days. It's October 23rd.
23rd.
So even less.
Okay.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
I play kickball on Thursdays.
Thank goodness.
I play pickup basketball on Tuesdays. I'm going to have a real active week.
You play kickball for real?
You stretch those hammies.
Where at?
Toby Field, you trying to play tonight? We need a guy.
Hey, I will play kickball.
You'll
I
play
can't play
kickball?
tonight. I got to work tonight.
Yeah, sorry.
my fault.
Some of us have a game, CJ. You enjoy
My
your
bad.
kickball game at this point. I would literally rejoin the foul balls, which I was an alternate on 3 years ago, some time ago. If you played kickball,
I would.
I'd come back.
I would definitely love to play kickball.
Got you.
I would. I would run and do that.
Okay. You got to do the full stretching though before.
We got a full routine. I hope we have a team stretch. We don't do team stretching?
They're doing a mandatory warm-up for the 3-on-3 tournament, which was not a thing last time. It is involved in someone texted me and was like, did they have this last time? And I said, no, they did not. But I did warm up. It said all players are required to be on the practice court by 5:15 for a mandatory warm-up session.
Oh,
they're not playing around this time. They're not playing around this time.
They said we are covering all our bases. If you get hurt, that's on you.
That is a you problem.
Yes.
Not an us. And here, please sign this waiver.
Gotta sign the waiver.
Sign
sign
that
the
paper
waiver.
as everybody walks in. Just sign that.
I am thrilled that you're in studio today. I had totally forgot you're a Mets fan. So this is even more perfect time. Not only do you get a Grizzlies preseason game, the OMG Mets. CJ and I have been along following the Grimace Mets of it all because we love Grimace, and it's now Purple October for the New York Mets as they are into the NLCS.
Yep.
But they have two gimmicks because they also have the OMG song,
Yes.
which is so fun.
It is. Look at there.
Look at
him. But it's. I tell everybody, I was a big Mets fan back when I was younger. When they won it, I always say Keith Hernandez, David Cone, Gary Carter, Darryl Strawberry, Dwight Gooden, that was when I enjoyed it. And I am not a baseball person, but I always rooted for the Mets to do well, especially because my best friend is a diehard Mets fan. So I root hard for them to be successful because he had the Knicks and the Mets, and I was just like, geez, I feel bad for my boy. And so now that they started winning, it was like, we're now sitting. I've watched every single game they played from the last where they had to play the 2 games against the Braves, and they get the win to get in. From that point on, I didn't watch the second game because it was over. I've watched every game, even on the plane flying in. I'm on the plane. Yes, schooling it, and people were just like, this dude got to be crazy.
I mean,
I'm
how
in.
can you not root for the Grimace Mets? It's a good story. They lost 15 to 19 games in May?
It was the best. It was the best ending. I think the last, month or month and a half, they've had the best record and still had to play a day after the season was over to get to here.
We're happy for you. We're happy for Gary Parrish. You're going to stick around for the next segment. We're going to keep talking about the Grizzlies. They play the Hornets tonight. We'll talk about some of the things we would still like to see in this preseason from the Memphis Grizzlies, along with some stories from around the rest of the league when we come back.
We got to talk about the best wrestling that we watched all week. You're up.
I think Brunson Reed and Braun Strowman put on a 5-star match in 60 seconds. I've never seen it happen before. Brunson Reed chunks the fan at Braun. I'm like, where the hell that dude come from?
I got a tweet saying it's a good thing they're not in Memphis, or else that would have been one of the Memphis wrestling guys getting hurled.
Exactly.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Number 9 is going to go into the rafters this year, and so make sure if you don't have tickets already, go grab those.
Okay,
March 15th, you know the night now.
Yo,
Tony Allen, Jersey
dope.
Retirement Night. You got a big time night too. A Saturday night against Miami this is a great one.
That's lit. That's lit, man. Big shout out.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
If you were promised by an assistant coach somewhere $100,000 to transfer to a school, and we got, pretty deep into the season, 4th game's coming up, and you still ain't got your money, you walking away like Matt Sluka is at UNLV?
If I'm promised this and the checks aren't coming, I'm a businessman first, right? Like, forget this academic stuff. These are not student athletes anymore. These are paid independent contractors to play football.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Is Ja Morant the player in the NBA with the most approved going into this season?
Ja Morant is one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
On the court, there is no question, barring injury, that what Ja Morant is.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What do you think about this matchup against the Pirates and the Bison?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is who in the hell put Gus Johnson as the notable alumni selection when we got Kamala Harris right now that's more relevant? It's 28 people I would have named before I would have got the Gus Johnson.
My assumption is, Mike, Hampton will find a way to come up again. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
Fine first home preseason game for the Memphis Grizzlies. Our chat question of the day: where will the Grizzlies finish in the Western Conference this season? 70% of the vote. They will be a playoff team. Brevin Knight is here. I think that's fair.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's more than fair.
Where in that?
Yeah, where are we going in that?
I would say they're a top 8 team. Yeah. I would consider them definitely a top 6 team. But in the scale of what they're coming back to, what the West looks like, you just want to guarantee that you're at least a top 8 team. I always say, in that playing situation, at least give yourself the latitude to lose one and still have a chance to still get in. But they're with what this team definitely built to be a top 6 team, definitely built to be a championship contender. It just also has to do with the other teams that are there in the West.
Who are the other teams, or is there one in particular that stands out where you think this is going to be the team to beat in the West this year?
I think there are a couple of those teams. I think the young teams are going to continue to be good. I think Oklahoma City, and it's the teams that are around kind of our same age group type, which is Oklahoma City. Don't go too far down the road from New Orleans. And I thought they did a really good, not sneaky, but by getting DeJounte Murray and being able to move C.J. McCollum. I always said the problem with New Orleans, which was good for us, was that they never had a point guard.
Yeah.
It was, just keep doing what y'all doing. Give us a chance. It makes it a little tougher with putting them there. But just still, Denver, I don't think there's any one team. That's what makes
the collection.
That's what makes the West so hard. And that's why I say throughout those numbers, do I think they're top 6? Yes, they're a top 6 team. It's just so many other teams in the West that you guys say, oh, well, okay. Like, you can't discredit Dallas. Don't think the run that they made last year is just going to be a flash in the pan. And so they got better. And so I think there are multiple teams. There are 4 or 5 that you said in the Western Conference that are legitimate to win the conference.
Do you think the Timberwolves got worse in the Karl Anthony Towns trade?
I don't think they got worse. I think they got tougher.
Okay.
I don't think that their offensive or defensive abilities changed much. Maybe the defense side changed much. Offensively, I think Julius Randle is a fantastic player. How they'll fit him in, because they play Cat a certain way, they had to be different with him. But I thought they got tougher on the other side, with Julius Randle and with DiVincenzo. Like, that was a big get for them to be able to get him. And so I think that puts them, they're one of those teams that I was just talking about, again, around where this team, similarly how they're built, ready to move, and which one of these teams are going to strike the match the quickest.
The Suns. I mean, again, it's all through it, and not just strike the match the quickest, but who stays healthy. And no team understands the gift of health quite like the Grizzlies coming out of last year. It is where I'm curious, going through this preseason. And I know fans tonight, in terms of like, what are you most excited for if you're coming to FedEx Forum to watch the Grizzlies play the Hornets in a preseason game? A lot just want to see Zach Edey for the first time. A lot would love to see a Grizzlies win, even if it's a preseason win, because there were so few of those last year. But I'm very curious who starts at point guard tonight with Ja Morant out, and if this can be used as almost a continued, I hesitate to call it a tryout for Scotty Pippen Jr. because he has been so consistent and gotten consistently better. You look at his performance in Summer League, really being a two-way player, dog on the defensive end, steady as a point guard. But there is a roster spot available where he could potentially be boosted off of his two-way contract and into a full-time roster spot for the Grizzlies where he would be the backup point guard of this team. How do you look at the backup point guard position right now and how Scotty Pippen Jr. plays into all of that?
Well, I to what you said, I thought and I think that he has done everything necessary to get a full-time contract. Yeah. Does that mean that it'll happen? We don't know.
Exactly.
This is still a business. There's still other team decisions that may have to be made, especially when you got 2 injuries to 2 guys that were supposed to be rotation guys for you. And so, and guys of size and length that are out. So there are decisions to be made, but I think that what you just said was key in that from the first day we saw Scotty Pippen Jr. to watch him play the first preseason game, he's been a different basketball player. And within that growth, it has just been nothing but winning plays. Defensively, say getting after it. The only thing I would say on the defensive end is to watch the fouls and understand time and situation with how aggressive he is on the defensive side, but don't change that at all. And on the offensive end, continue to understand when guys get the ball, how they get the ball, but he still has the ability to score. And so to me, he can definitely be a serviceable backup, but it also depends on how you see the lineup, who starts, how they start, and then how you play off of that. But in terms of being a viable option as a backup point guard for our team, I think he fits the role perfectly.
Right, and of course we had to see him as a starting point guard. He comes via, middle of the season trying to figure things out last year, have able bodies to play, and next thing you know, he's starting a good number of those games in the starting point guard role.
And he dominated something. Like in the Summer League, it was what you wanted to see was, I always say with guys who have played minutes in the NBA and then still play in the Summer League the next year, you want to see them look different than everyone else on the floor. And he looked totally different than the other guys that were on the floor in the way that he dominated the games. And then he just continued it right in his first preseason game.
Yeah, it was fun to watch him very much look like one of, if not the best players at Summer League. And I will still, just like Zach Kleiman said it on Media Day, I will stamp it here, is robbed of the Summer League MVP. And if you're still talking about someone not getting Summer League MVP, which is such a silly, arbitrary thing in the long haul of it, something not many people remember, it's a testament to just how well he played. Now, the other way they could go tonight, if they don't start Scotty, is giving an opportunity to see what this looks like with either Marcus Smart or Desmond Bane being the primary ball handler.
Well, I think they got enough ball handlers that we saw what Desmond Bane can do in a lurch if you need it. It's something that he's capable. He is capable of doing it, but it's still not his strength of doing. It's not what he's done,
and it takes him away from doing the strength
from what
that
he does. And so it's like if you have people that can do it, then let those be in that role. Marcus Smart, he's done it. It's he is it's a Swiss Army knife because he's done everything. I mean, he's had to defend everybody on the offensive end. He's asked to play with the ball, without the ball. He posts up in the mid post sometimes. He shoots 3. So he's done it all. But you have guys who have done it. You know what? If Luke Kennard has to handle the ball, if John Conchar we had that last year. And so the have to, but you have guys who definitely do it. And so I think they'll just lean on the definites who can do it. In the other ways, if the offense is predicated where it doesn't require a main ball handler for a long stretch, then you can get away with it there. But I think they're in good hands with Marcus and with Scotty Pippen Jr.
We have become the official show of Yuki Kawamura. I'm claiming it. Everyone else can talk about Yuki Kawamura. This is not a monopoly of the subject matter. However, we have been screaming from the abyss of how he is our favorite preseason. I mean, please. When I say Yuki, you get Yuki from CJ. Just seeing it. I mean, This is what, it's funny. I was actually, we do love Yuki. We are rooting for Yuki. I will always be rooting for Yuki, no matter how this all turns out.
Wherever
if he's
he goes.
in South Haven playing for the Memphis Hustle or elsewhere trying to continue his NBA dream. I was talking to the new head coach of the Memphis Showboats yesterday, making a Showboats to NBA connection. I promise it'll make sense. But Ken Wisenhunt, who... awesome guy, was wonderful to speak to, was a head coach of the Cardinals, head coach of the Titans, won a Super Bowl as offensive coordinator for the Steelers. He was last on Nick Saban's staff at Alabama last year, and now he's coach of the Showboats. But he was talking about the UFL being like an opportunity of a developmental league of sorts for the NFL. And these players who get lost because there hasn't been a clear-cut space for them similar to the G League, where they can come in and someone who would be overlooked because of size or overlooked because of circumstances or international perhaps, and then gets the opportunity to try to work their way to that next level. And I was telling him about Yuki Kawamura, and I was like, here's this guy who played, for the Japanese national team, got to see him at the Olympics, got to kind of dive into his story playing for the professional league over in Japan, and now he's this 5'8" point guard who has become someone that everyone is cheering for here in Memphis. When you saw him in the game in his first preseason action, he makes the three. He had some really nice passes. What did you see from Yuki Kawamura?
He can play the game.
Yeah.
And so to me, a lot of times, I don't deal with size or worry about size so much because look at me.
Here we go.
So and if you can play the game, I always say the thing with size is, we've been small our entire life. We were small when we played Little League. We were small when we got to middle. We were small the whole. So you learn and you adapt how to play at your size. And so what Yuki has been able to do is not just be individually successful, but also that his individual has impacted teams. Yeah. And so at our size and the position that mostly we play, then you want to be impactful on the floor. And so as long as he can continue to impact the game, then he'll have a chance to play basketball. And I hope at some point in time we can just get beyond what the size is and can you play? Because there are a lot of people who are 6'6" and tall or 6'4" and tall who can't play basketball, but just because you're that tall, you continue to get the opportunities. And so I'm like everyone else. I'm rooting for him, and I'm hoping that whether it be here, there, wherever it may be, he just continues to play the game and excite people the way that he has.
Yeah. If you're shorter, maybe you can't reach for the top cabinet. That's what I experienced. But you can play basketball.
Oh, listen, you can listen. I'm telling you what, you can harass. The one thing that all bigs will say when they played or they had to play against me was, God, I just always didn't know where he was. I got the ball on the post and it's just like, well, where is he? Where is he? I know that he's coming. Like exactly, but so it's the whole size game. I didn't realize I was small until I stopped playing basketball.
Yeah.
And now when I see all of the guys I played against or we go to any events and I'm like, holy cow, like.
It took you that long to realize you were
like, wait a minute.
For real, bro. Like, cause while I was playing, I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see that funny. You were that tall. It was just, bro, I'm just figuring out how to continue to score. But I didn't feel small. Now when I'm around people, I feel small. You
feel it a little bit more. On the flip side of the small, you mentioned the injuries to Gigi and Vince. You can never have enough big athletic wings in this league. How do you evaluate the wing position for this team right now and some players who may have an opportunity to get more minutes than expected early in the season?
Well, this is big for, I think, Jake LaRavia. And I thought Jake did a fantastic job last year of taking advantage of the injury situation. Number one, by keeping himself healthy. He still had some minor things throughout the year, but relatively healthy to show what he's capable of doing. And it was nice to see him expand his game and not just be a three-point shooter. And I tell everybody, don't let people pigeonhole you into one thing. Because when the one thing doesn't go well, then they're going to think you can't do anything. Yeah. And so what we saw from him was the rebounding, the defensive effort, the putting the ball on the floor, getting to the basket. He got to the free throw line very well, using his body. So I think this is big time for him. The other one who's quasi wing big is Santi Aldama. I think this is a huge time for him because he's going to slide between different positions, but he had real experience playing on the Olympic team this summer, and by being a major piece to it, not just being on the team and being a guy there. Like, he was a guy that they played through. He was a guy that had to take on defensive responsibilities. And so he talked about the physicality and him him being able to be more physical. They're going to need him to step up in that area. Luke Kennard played well last year in terms of expanding his game. He's going to be there. But I think those guys, the biggest one was Jake, because I think that he can continue to help this team. And then I say with Wells, it's intriguing to see what he can do. Like I watched him when he was at Washington State.
R.I.P. Pac-12.
Exactly. I still call them Pac-12 schools. That's just what it is. But I'm intrigued to see where his development goes.
There's something unassuming about him, and then when
he's fired up.
Yes, and it's very fun to watch, and seeing his confidence grow has been huge. All right, you have your fit for tonight?
No,
you never
this
have
is
it.
It's the
preseason. You don't waste a good fit on the preseason.
Heck no, I'm
with you.
I'm going in the back of the closet for tonight.
I think I am too. I was going to. I have something. I'm saving it for. I was like, why would I do that? This is so stupid.
We have no pregame, no postgame.
Congratulations. Over on the radio. Don't you fret. If you don't have Brevin and Pete and Rob to watch in the pregame, may I interest you in the Grizzlies pregame show on the Memphis Grizzlies radio hosted by me. And we have a new situation for the Grind City Media pregame stuff. Lang Whitaker is going to have our new, it's called The Warm Up.
Okay.
It's debuting tonight. I'm going to pop on that as well.
He's doing it from the arena?
From the arena. It'll be on Grind City Media.
What time?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock.
I'm about to jump on.
There you go, because you're going to be bored.
6
What are you
o'clock.
going to do?
Yes, I'll be there.
All right, Brevin, thanks for starting your morning
Great
with
to
us.
see you guys.
Enjoy the golf course.
Yes, I'm
before,
enjoying golf and get ready for this Grizzlies game.
We're going to be ready, and I can't wait. Grizzlies Hornets tonight. You can catch it on Valley Sports Southeast. We'll take a quick break here. When we come back, Teresa Walker will join us. One, she was at the epic Vanderbilt win over Alabama last week, and I can't wait to get her thoughts on that. Two, SEC and the Big Ten are having meetings in Nashville today. She's going to head there after she joins us. We'll catch up with her about what she thinks it all could mean when we come back.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com.
When it's all on the line, you turn to the strong, the stable, the unwavering. To those with a history of raising their performance, to meet the moment. It's true in basketball. It's true in banking. Grizzlies Checking from Pinnacle. Play hard, bank easy. Open a Grizzlies checking account with at least $100 and a recurring direct deposit by August 31st. And you could receive a $200 direct deposit bonus into your account. Details at grizzliesbanking.com. Member FDIC.
Justin Timberlake.
I'm bringing sexy back.
The Forget Tomorrow World Tour. Live in Memphis. Justin Timberlake. FedEx Forum, Saturday, November 23rd. Get tickets now at livenation.com. The brand new single Selfish is available to stream and download now.
So if I get jealous, I can't help it.
For more, hit up justintimberlake.com.
If you were promised by an assistant coach somewhere $100,000 to transfer to a school, and we got pretty deep into the season, fourth game's coming up, and you still ain't got your money, you walking away like Matt Sluka is at UNLV?
If I'm promised this and the checks aren't coming, I'm a businessman first, right? Like, forget this academic stuff. These are not student athletes anymore. These are paid independent contractors to play football.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The home dogs are barking. How about the Minnesota Vikings? Home dog the last 2 weeks. They've been a dog in all three games this season. They're 3-0, winning by 22, winning by 6, and winning by 27. Dominating their opponent, dominating the point spread, 3-0 against the number. And then they're a dog again this week, aren't they? At Green Bay. 2.5 point dog at Green Bay.
They are dogging it.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What do you think about this matchup against the Pirates and the Bison?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is who in the hell put Gus Johnson as the notable alumni selection when we got Kamala Harris right now that's more relevant? It's 28 people I would have named before I would have got the Gus Johnson.
My assumption is, Mike, Hampton will find a way to come up again. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
We got to talk about the best wrestling that we watched all week. You're up.
I think Brunson Reed and Braun Strowman put on a 5-star match in 60 seconds. I've never seen it happen before. Brunson Reed chunks the fan at Braun. I'm like, where the hell that dude come from?
I got a tweet saying it's a good thing they're not in Memphis, or else that would have been one of the Memphis wrestling guys getting hurled.
Exactly.
Tune in to Grind City Wrestling weekly on the Grind City Media app and on the Grind City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back. A big thanks to Brevin Knight for coming in ahead of tonight's Grizzlies Hornets game. If you haven't, make sure you smash that like button if you're joining us on YouTube. And every Thursday, we like it, especially because Teresa Walker joins us, and she was kind enough to push back her usual time slot a little bit today. Teresa, how are you over in Nashville?
I'm trying to survive the month that is October. I mean, as if it wasn't bad enough. You know, it's like literally it feels like just yesterday I was in Memphis for Media Day. And, you know, now, and the Vanderbilt history over Alabama. Feels
Called
like
it.
Forever, I know. And then it's like, you absolutely did. Let's give Jess her props.
Thank you.
She's been on the Diego Pavia bandwagon. She may have built the bandwagon with Diego's help.
It's my arc. It's my Noah's Ark is the Diego Pavia bandwagon. And now everybody is all aboard as we have the opportunity to celebrate Vanderbilt actually beating Alabama in a football game. I know you're crazy busy though, Teresa, because when we asked if you could slide back your usual time because we were going to have Brevin Knight in studio, you said yes. However, you also have to be, you know, available for these Big Ten, SEC, what are we calling it? A tea party? A gathering of the minds? It's occurring in Nashville today, and I know you're going to be up on all of it.
Well, thank God my colleague Edey Pels has done the heavy lifting till now. But yeah, since it's in, why Nashville? I mean, come on now. Why are you picking my town? But yes, members of the Big Ten and the SEC are meeting in Nashville at a hotel, and they're going to be talking about the future and the expanded potential. I mean, this is the first year of a 12-team playoff, right? And they're already talking about expanding it. And you know, and let's face it, they're going to be talking about possibly scheduling things between the two conferences, and you know, it's going to be very, very interesting because. Yes, and the reason I'm looking down at my screen is to refresh my memory because I have Colts are at the Titans this week. I've got Florida at Tennessee, and I had to edit that stuff yesterday. I was also at Titans yesterday, where Will Levis literally showed us that the AC injury he's got to his throwing shoulder from the Miami game. Well, he's had it worse in the left shoulder, and he actually moved his arm, and you could see a bump pop up on the top of his shoulders, the AC joint. Yeah, it's like, ooh. So I'm looking down just to double check, but no final decisions are expected this week, but they are talking about where to go from here. And the future of the college football playoff is part of that. And I mean, let's face it, anyone who thought 12 would be the number, I mean, let's be honest, you haven't been keeping up with the point of the plot here. And it's how to get more money for college sports, whether it's for the athletes with the deal that was reached on Monday. There's never a never-ending grab for money, and the Big Ten and the SEC are at the top of the mountain right now, and it feels like they're trying to see what they can do to get more spots at the table, at the college football table, and possibly a scheduling agreement between the two leagues to help bolster what? Strength of schedule, which helps do what? Bolster their opportunity to get more teams in the playoffs. So As Vanderbilt literally showed last Saturday night, Kentucky beating Mississippi the week before. There are, this world of NIL allows you to revamp. Vanderbilt's been the perennial cellar dweller forever. And yet Clark Lee going out and getting 51 new players, the head coach, the offense coordinator, the quarterback from New Mexico State is able to turn around and flip this program on its head. Guys, Vanderbilt is 7 points away from being undefeated. Arkansas beats Tennessee. I mean, there's cats and dogs living with each other. I mean, so what do you do in a situation where you literally don't know what tomorrow brings? You try to find what's best for you, and that's what the SEC and the Big Ten are doing.
What do
and
you
who
got?
Can blame them?
Yeah, no, that's the name of the game. Is greed.
It's called business.
It's business, greed, whatever you want to call it.
Capitalism.
What do you
Cool.
guys think a TV network would be willing to pay for a Big Ten SEC challenge? Right? Because that would be money that's then divvied up amongst those two conferences exclusively and their conference members, which would then, we were talking about it some off air, which would then, I think, kind of put away the need or the desire by those teams for the 70 team or 64 team new league that's been floated out there.
Well, here's the thing. ESPN's 6-year, $7.8 billion with a B contract to televise those playoffs begin for 2026. And so, we've got some time here, and the Big Ten and the SEC leaders have made proposals to get they're trying to get theirs. They're trying to get 3 or 4 automatic spots out of those playoffs. And, strangely enough, the rest of College Football League, what's left of the pack, whatever, Big 12, the ACC, they're not exactly happy about that. But, that's the thing. You use the power that you've got to leverage the marketplace. And when a Vanderbilt can do, they were trending and had all eyes on Nashville for college football Saturday because of what was happening on the football field. And that plays in their hand because they can say, and guys, when I've covered Vanderbilt since 1992, the big joke is all they do is cash checks every year. But in this day and age, they can create compelling must-see TV, and that makes them and the SEC more valuable.
Yeah, last season, 30 of the 34 games that generated at least 6 million TV viewers involved teams from either the SEC or the Big Ten or combined. So it speaks for the power. Yeah, cha-ching is the correct answer. Well, I look forward to hearing what this meeting of the minds brings to us in the middle of the season, where I wish we could do these things outside of the season because I'd love to just focus on, the college football games being played, but we will forever be stuck in this cycle of what the future of college football and college sports looks like. Teresa, you mentioned Tennessee plays Florida in Knoxville this weekend, coming off a disappointing loss to Arkansas last week. Do you feel that the Vols bounce back, or is this another opportunity for this Florida team? They seem to be playing for Billy Napier's job right now, and they're doing an okay job.
Well, it's one thing to beat Mississippi State and UCF. That's nice for the Gators.
That's nice. It's better than the alternative.
Yes, it is, because if they had not, Billy Napier would probably not be the Florida Gators coach on Saturday night in Neyland. But it's a checker game. The Vols have won the last 2. Yes, I know Tennessee's long, sad, painful history against Florida. But this feels like a bounce-back game for the Vols. They haven't been home in a month, okay? And now, could you catch them looking ahead to Alabama next week? Maybe. But if I'm Josh Heupel, I'm just putting on the tape of what you did in Arkansas, where you were a 2-touchdown favorite. And, I'm sorry, but Vol fans are probably getting a little tired of seeing a quarterback run out of bounds at the end of the game. Joe Milton did it a couple years ago. I'm old enough to remember when Tony Robinson did it with, at the 4-yard line against Kentucky in 1984. And then Tennessee reeled off 25 or so straight in that series. So this feels like a get-right game. It's sold out. They're checkering Neyland. The Vols have won their last 2 games when they've checkered Neyland. And, it's one of those things where, they've been lobbying to get the song going into the fourth quarter changed from Friends in Low Places to Copperhead Road. I'm curious to see about that. I do love that song.
How does Copperhead Road go?
Yeah, I don't
I've
know
never
that.
heard that one. Who sings Copperhead Road?
I can't think of the artist's name, but as somebody who has moonshiners in my family line, it does ring home. To the
Steve
hills of
Earle.
these- There you go. I was going to say that, but, I wasn't.
Teresa, we can help you out on this very brutal October for you.
Thank you. And the fun thing is, just when you think October sucks, then comes November when basketball starts up. So, college basketball. Yeah, I mean, yes, the NBA starts in 10 days-ish to 15 or whatever.
13 for us.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And the NHL season starts tonight. I literally
Wait, didn't it just start? Wait.
The Predators.
Oh, the Predator. I was like, I swear, I watched the Utah hockey team have their first game, and I watched the Kraken have a female assistant coach, which is incredible.
Yes, history being made all over the place. I love it.
Yeah.
Don't step on the glass. But yes, the Predators open the season tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. But the Predators open the season tonight against Dallas, and a lineup that is third in the West and eighth overall the last time I looked at the Stanley Cup odds. So, Barry Trotz spent lots and lots of money. Steven Stamkos is now in a Predators jersey. Jonathan Marchessault's, Brady Shea. I mean, Barry Trotz went shopping on July 1st, and it felt like Christmas morning to the Predators. So that game's tonight as well. So it's like, I'm just really glad that Vanderbilt is at Kentucky. Mm-hmm. And and they're receiving votes, and I'm waiting to see if they go up to Kentucky and do what they did 2 years ago, then I might have to cover Ball State at Vanderbilt next weekend, ruining my plans for a 3-day weekend. So
I don't want to ruin your 3-day weekend, but I really want Vanderbilt to make a bowl game. So this is tough. You do have to get back to the Titans this week. Titans Colts, and as you mentioned, Will Levis, his shoulder, he can show it to you. But the real question is Will Levis going to be good to go on Sunday against the Colts? What's your feel? How do you think the Titans do coming out of this bye?
Well, he practiced fully yesterday. Stuck around through the bye week, took 48 hours off, got lots and lots and lots of treatment. He said it's not as bad as the other one, but this is to his throwing shoulder. So we'll have to see, literally, how does he feel today? What is he able to do today? What is he able to do tomorrow? The good thing for the Titans is this is their AFC South opener. So they've got 6 games left in the division to help make up for their 0-3 start. And they're facing a Colts team that, while they have been one of the best and most explosive offenses in the NFL, Jonathan Taylor did not play last week. Anthony Richardson did not play last week. Their top receiver has got a back injury. They've got to decide what to do with him. Do they put him on IR, Michael Pittman? So they may be missing 3 of their top players. And no offense to Joe Flacco, he is a better thrower at this point of his career than Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, who, he's 4-4 in 2 years as an NFL quarterback. I mean, yikes. And strangely enough, Will Levis and he are both tied with 6 interceptions so far this season. So the other guy that they're tied with, some guy named Mahomes, but he's played an extra game, and his team is pretty good. So this is a game the Titans desperately need because they go back on the road, and again, it's a divisional game. And one stat to keep in mind: the Titans have won 8 straight games coming off of a bye. It is tied for the 3rd longest streak it's tied. It's for the 3rd longest streak coming off of a bye. There's 2 teams better than them, and only Buffalo, their next opponent, has a longer active streak at 9. So we'll see. Brian Callahan's been saying it would take a month to put these pieces together of this brand new puzzle. They've had a month and a bye. Let's see what they do with it.
One quick fantasy football advice piece, because I always turn to you from the Tennessee Titans. Do I hang on to DeAndre Hopkins, Teresa?
Yes.
All right, I can't make myself drop him. I can't do it.
As he said a couple days ago when people were floating trade rumors, he's loyal.
He's loyal. These hoes ain't. But Teresa, you're always the most loyal of our Thursday viewers. I appreciate you. Heart hands. Stay sane. We'll see you next week. Bye. That was Teresa Walker. You can follow her at Teresa M. Walker. I just felt like
Shout
throwing
out Chris
it out
Brown
there.
in the morning.
Yeah, a little breezy, you know?
I wasn't born last night.
Loyal. Now I don't even remember. Oh, DeAndre Hopkins is last.
Yeah,
Like, how did we get to
cut him.
loyalty?
Drop him.
No.
Drop him.
No.
What has he given you? Has he
Will
scored?
Levis got to throw to someone.
Has he scored 15 combined fantasy points this season?
Yeah, he had one good game.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I think it's
We'll
time,
see.
though. I think it's time.
Are we listening to Copperhead Road during the break? Are we going to give our judgment on Copperhead Road?
I am going to. I don't know what the hell you're doing.
I'm going to listen to Copperhead Road.
During the break.
I'm a big country fan.
Big Green Tractor, absolute banger. Suck it, Randall.
Think my tractor's sexy.
Oh, another one.
Another banger.
Nobody sings about tractors
Save a
quite
horse,
like country.
Save a horse, ride a cowgirl is actually
Cowgirl? Oh, you say cowgirl. I say cowboy.
no cowboy.
Yeah.
I meant cowboy. God, I can't get it.
Jessica, you're doing your
I'm
best.
doing it again. Help me. Help me. All right, we're going to come back. WNBA Finals start tonight. So we'll talk about that for a moment. Thursday night football is tonight as well. Big NFC West battle between the Niners and the Seahawks. We'll do Theater Thursday. I am so angry about something involving the movies. I can hardly stand it. I'll let you know what it is. And then we'll get into our Grizzlies game day. It's a Grizzlies game day, CJ. Grizzlies Hornets tonight, 7 p.m. Valley Sports Southeast. Grizzlies game day. It's the preseason, but it's a game day. We'll be right back.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GBWR.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item. Whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Number 9 is going to go into the rafters this year, and so make sure if you don't have tickets already, go grab those.
Okay, then.
March 15th, you know the night now.
Yo,
Tony Allen,
let's
Jersey
go.
retirement night. You got a big time night too. A Saturday night against Miami is this is a great
Yeah,
one.
that's lit. That's lit, man. Man, big shout out.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The home dogs are barking. How about the Minnesota Vikings? Home dog the last 2 weeks. They've been a dog in all 3 games this season. They're 3-0, winning by 22, winning by 6, and winning by 27. Dominating their opponent, dominating the point spread, 3-0 against the number. And then they're a dog again this week, aren't they? At Green Bay. 2.5 point dog at Green Bay.
They are dogging it.
The Odds Couple, live at 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Is Ja Morant the player in the NBA with the most approved going into this season?
Ja Morant is one of the best players in the world. He's one of the best players in the world.
On the court, there is no question, barring injury, that what Ja Morant is.
Hey, Grizzlies fans, be sure to tune in to Grizz, where the panel and I break down all things Grizzlies and take a look at the rest of the NBA as well. The show is live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What do you think about this matchup against the Pirates and the Bison?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is who in the hell put Gus Johnson as the notable alumni selection when we got Kamala Harris right now that's more relevant? It's 28 people I would have named before I would have got the Gus
My
Johnson.
assumption is, Mike, Hampton will find a way to come up again. Get all of your HBCU sports and culture news by tuning in to HBCU Huddle with CJ Hurt and Mike Wallace. New episodes drop every Thursday on grindcitymedia.com, YouTube, and Spotify.
through Copperhead Road by Steve Earle. I'm into it.
Does the beat drop?
It's a good storytell. They should. In the words of Chapel Roan, can someone play a song with an effing beat?
Okay. Oh my head. I didn't know she said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. If the beat drops,
I can't wait for the beat to drop.
Yeah.
Like, certainly in like the third stanza, the beat's gonna drop.
It's got to, doesn't it?
I like it though.
It's fine.
It fits
it's a good
perfectly.
bootlegging song.
I'm reading a book right now called Demon Copperhead. So Copperhead Road, Demon Copperhead. It's about 1990s opioid epidemic hitting Appalachia and like a young boy. It's. Did you ever have to read David Copperfield in school?
I think I was supposed to.
Okay. The author kind of tailors it towards
what's a David Copperfield book story? I feel like we had a whole Copperfield section, like an American lit. Was he American? Why do I feel like he was American? And wait, now that I think about it, is David Copperfield a magician also?
No, there's David Copperfield the magician, but I'm talking about the Charles Dickens novel, David Copperfield.
Okay, there we go.
It's like the story of like a young boy and like his circumstances and what you're born into and how that impacts. So the first line, the only reason I read David Copperfield, I think I spark notes David Copperfield, if we're being honest. But my mom always tells the story when she was in school. My mom was an English major, and she was in some like upper level English class where on the first day the teacher went around and asked everybody to say the first line of their favorite book. And my mom thought it was the most absurd thing ever. Like, who knows the first line of your favorite book? She had always thought she was a huge reader. She loved reading. She loved books, but she couldn't think of anything. And she always was mad at herself because half the class used David Copperfield because the first line of David Copperfield is, "I was born." Like, it's so easy. I was born. And so I was listening to Demon Copperhead because I accidentally downloaded it as an audiobook instead of a book, and now I'm forced to listen to it because it was like $15, and I'm just not, there's no going back at this point. And the first line of Demon Copperhead was, "First I got myself born." And I was like, that sounds an awful lot like David Copperfield. And then I went and I looked it up, and she based it on that. Anyway, it's a kid who was born in a trailer in somewhere, Lee County, Virginia. But similar energy to the stories being told at Copperhead Road.
Going on.
There's moonshine. Well, meth, actually, at the moment. A lot of meth.
Well, okay. Turn up.
One person's moonshine is another person's meth. Well, now I'm making false equivalencies, and I don't think that's fair. That's definitely not how the meth works.
No. But we've gotten to the part of the song where I guess they finished making the moonshine. Now we're figuring out why you don't come back from Copperhead Road. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
There's a sheriff's car.
Yeah, he's waiting on you because you're not supposed to be making moonshine.
Yeah. Mama crying. Something wasn't right. God, when the beat drops, it's going to be crazy.
It's going to be a banger. I know it's going to be a banger.
It's going to be crazy.
It might be as good as Big Green Tractor.
Yeah, it may be. That's a lot to live up to. Quick wraparound sports. As we talked about with Brevin, the Grimace Mets are going to the NLCS. We are a Grimace Mets organization right here on the Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt, directed by Other Jacobs and currently directed by Kyra. It's a good time. The WNBA Finals begin tonight. We get Liberty Lynx Game 1. It'll go up against Thursday Night Football. I will say it has been encouraging. I was listening to Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe talk on their podcast this week about this notion of, well, without Caitlin Clark in the WNBA playoffs, nobody's watching, which just frankly isn't true. And more people are watching more than ever, which is very encouraging to see. And yes, of course, the games with Caitlin Clark were exponentially more viewed than in any other in the sport this year. That is a fact, and seeing the impact was incredible. But there are still more viewers than they've ever seen, even with the WNBA coming in this like primo time of sports where it's going up against football, where it's going up against Major League Baseball playoffs and college football and all the above. So it is played on a Thursday. I really wish it was on a Friday. I know there's some reason somewhere that ESPN couldn't plop it down on a Friday night.
Why? What happens on I guess I get
for
it,
me, a Friday feels better than going up against Thursday Night Football.
Oh, you're going up against high-level football on Friday, and you're going up against MLB playoffs as well, right? Like
We're calling Utah. Who does Utah? I know they play Friday.
You tell me. Are we just going to disrespect the
Utah,
Utes?
Arizona State. I'm sorry.
I'm down for disrespecting all of these teams.
I'm disrespecting the Utes until I see Cam Rising back out on a football field leading this team to the Big 12 title.
You want the W to avoid NFL.
I would love for them to make an effort to avoid NFL.
And then avoid the Big Ten SEC also.
They can't do. You cannot have them play on Saturday because they are ESPN owns the rights to the WNBA. So ESPN has college football all day, every day on Saturday. The reason they can do it is because they don't have NFL games on Sunday. So they can plop them up against that. But if you're going to do that, then at least put them in, I don't know, good time periods on ABC. Give people the opportunity to see. It stinks that the WNBA Finals start tonight, and I feel like there is lack of buzz outside of the diehards of the W. Is that fair to say?
Yes, but I'm not sure what you can do other than move this season up so that you're wrapping in September. And then in doing that, you're going up against the NBA, which you don't necessarily have to go up against the NBA. My wife brought this up.
You also literally can't move it up because of college basketball.
That's the other good point.
So there's no space.
You can't move it up then.
Yeah.
The wife wants more WNBA, NBA cross, like double hitters, and you can't do that either because WNBA season is ending as NBA season is getting started and vice versa. They've got to be more creative. I'm with you, though. They do need to be a bit more creative with how they're going about the scheduling to maximize interest in the sport. But this time of the year, it is hard. This time of the year for a sports fan is great because you've got MLB playoffs, you've got the start of the NHL, you've got football season in full swing, you've got the NBA getting ready to get started. That's the 4 major sports over here, and then you add another one in the W. It's just tough this time of the year to grab everybody's singular focus.
ESPN just hired Cam Newton.
To do what?
He will be primarily will be a commentator on First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Molly Karam. He will also make his debut Friday during First Take's HBCU Roadshow at Tennessee State University.
Excited for Tennessee State. It's their homecoming. They need a win against
Shout out
Eastern
Megan
Illinois.
Triplett.
Shout out Megan Triplett. They need a
Our
win.
favorite TSU grad.
Wilma Rudolph, but okay.
My favorite TSU
your
grad.
favorite.
Sorry.
She's top 3. But, it's great that they're going to Tennessee State. Tennessee State, Eastern Illinois, it's their homecoming up there. Tennessee State needs a win to stay in the Big South OVC race. Right now, TSU, if I remember correctly, Kyra, help me out if I'm wrong, I think they're 4th or 5th in the Box to Row HBCU rankings this week. So that's a good team that they've got up there in Nashville. We saw them play right here at Simmons Bank Liberty Stadium for the Southern Heritage Classic. Listen, personalities on those types of shows don't really move me at all.
Yeah.
Don't really
put them on a game broadcast.
They don't move me at all. And
I'm not watching First Take outside of when clips come, and I don't even.
And
I'm going to be honest. I cannot tell you the last time I pressed play on a First Take clip, so I'm not the right audience.
I've watched Cam's podcast clips as they've come through, which is how I'm consuming all of, because everybody's got one. I'm consuming them in clips. I'm sure everybody out there is doing so as well. But the clips that I've seen haven't made me want to go back and find that podcast episode or that podcast and just listen to it. But that's me. I'm not their market, though, because I'm not watching ESPN either. If it's not a live sport on, I'm not consuming that station or that network. So if this is going to help them with their viewership numbers, it seems to be where ESPN is going when we think about styles of media members. And right now, Cam is technically speaking a media member, one of those former players turned media members. That's what ESPN is feeding on right now. They've moved on from the traditionalists like a Zach Lowe and have gone full. It looks like they've turned full steam ahead into the
personality.
Hey, just give us somebody who's going to get people fired up. Yeah. Give us another Stephen A. Smith or something like that so we can make money off of it with these clips. And Cam Newton certainly fits that profile.
All right, let's do a little Theater Thursday on this beautiful Thursday. Some news from the movies from the week. CJ, I'm angry. I might be irrationally angry. No, you know what? I don't think I'm irrationally angry. We have been waiting, and by we, I mean those of us who are counting down the days until part 1 of the Wicked movie. We already had to get over the anger of the Wicked movie being turned into not 1, but 2 parts. A 2-parter for the Wicked movie. One of the most iconic musical posters of all time is the Wicked poster. It is this. It is this beautiful, very simple graphic, if we get down to it, of Elphaba and Galenda, and you have the whispering into the ear, and the hat is covering the face, and the little red smirk. It's perfect. It's iconic. And everyone has been asking, when are Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo going to give us their version of this classic, iconic poster so they can use it for the movie? And finally, they were like, fine, we've heard you. We are ready to roll out our promotions for the Wicked movie that emulate this. No, it's all wrong. It is all wrong. Why do I see her eyes? Why are her lips not red? Why do I see so much of Ariana Grande's face? Why is she not entirely covering it and whispering an actual secret? That's a horrible job at whispering a secret. Everything is terrible about this. I'm so mad.
You're irrational.
I'm so mad.
You're irrational.
It's so easily fixable.
What's wrong with it?
Everything.
What do you mean everything?
Again,
I would not
I don't need to see either of their faces. I need to see hand, I need to see hat over eyes, and I need red lips. I need the red lip. The red lips make it. You forgot your lipstick.
I would not have used this as the poster because people like you are so worked up about it.
Oh my God.
You got to oh, that was a cool transition, Kyra. I see you, girl,
cool.
get in your bag then. I would have gone with something else because when you're trying to emulate that, and apparently that matters in the theater community.
The only thing worse would be if they took out that. Oh,
stop it. Quit it. Yeah, do something else. Is there another scene that we can do? Yeah, do her on the broom.
Or
what's her name? Elsa?
Elphaba. This isn't Frozen.
Close.
You almost had me GD on this show.
I'm sorry.
Elsa?
Close.
Oh my
They're both magical
God.
creatures. Isn't Elsa a witch? She's a snow witch. This is a green witch. They're
Not a
witches.
snow witch?
She's not?
Oh, Elsa's a snow witch. I thought you were saying Glenda's a snow witch.
Okay, is Elsa a snow witch?
Yes, Elsa's a,
okay.
a sorceress.
Ice witch?
An ice witch.
Ice witch. Okay,
An ice
Kyra.
magician.
Kyra has said nothing. Kyra's been down here for about a month directing this show, doing a mediocre job. Some would say great. She's been
so mad
mediocre
at
to me.
this.
She hadn't said anything.
so
She's come to life
stupid.
about Elsa and
Elphaba.
Green Elsa. So, Kyra, hit me back.
Oh yeah, you're gone. Bye. Your opinion is not wanted here. You do not have accurate takes on the Wicked movie. I'm just saying, if you're going to go after such an iconic photo,
you shouldn't go
graphic.
You shouldn't go after
But if you are, do it right. You get paid so much money. Do it right.
They did the best they could.
They did the best. Do better. Do better. This is worse. Two things I hate. This, and I saw that announcement from, I love that we're trying to get rid of hate, but Robert Kraft is organizing a bunch of athletes to say we're taking a timeout from hate. And there's an ad campaign of all of these athletes going timeout from hate.
I got questions on that. Can we finish this and then come back
no,
to the timeout?
this is the epitome of our show, going from Wicked to the timeout hate campaign.
What's another iconic moment from Wicked?
You could have figured out some way to have like Glenda in her bubble and Elphaba with her broom.
Okay.
But I don't think you need it.
You were screaming.
I think you do this.
No,
you just
don't.
do it
you
right.
You can't do it. You can't.
Tell me why. Tell me why.
Because people like you are gonna nitpick it.
It's not that nitpicky.
It's
simply
nitpicky. You're
they
mad.
changed the
Think
core
about
of the image.
Think about what you're talking about. You're mad, Kyra. Can we do a side by side? You're mad because you see eyes, there aren't red lips, and the hand isn't all the way over the nostril. That's what you're mad about.
I need her to be telling a secret. It's a deep secret.
Nitpicky.
Something bad is happening in Oz. God.
You're nitpicking. Kyra, if you
I'm
can,
not nitpicking. I am simply dancing
side.
through life.
Is that another reference?
Yeah. You want me to keep going?
No, I'd rather you stop.
I'm sorry. You don't always get one short day in the Emerald City.
Go back to the Ariana Grande one. Because that looks about the same to me. Her nose is covered.
No.
You do see the side of her face.
Okay, that's fine. I need the hat to cover the eyes, and I get it. Cynthia Erivo is a star. I love Cynthia Erivo. I am so excited to hear her do Defying Gravity. I am so excited to see her do everything. I'm excited to see Glenda put the hat on her for the first time and say, it's really a nice hat, don't you think? You know black is this year's pink. You deserve each other, this hat and you. You're both so smart. You deserve each other.
Take me back off the screen, Kyra. I'm done.
Out of the goodness
I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
All right. Back to the timeout for hate. Can we move from me hating? So I'm sorry. I'm taking a timeout from my hate of this promotion.
We take the time out from the hate. So we take that time
Gotta
out.
be aggressive with it.
Okay.
We've been too lackadaisical.
So,
Look at this.
there we
Oh
go.
my God, it's horrible.
Jessica.
It's absolutely atrocious.
I get move the hand up a half an inch.
Ariana Grande just wanted us to see her stellar cheekbones, and Cynthia Erivo wanted to serve a face card, and that's fine. But we're gonna get it in the movie.
Okay. I think that's
also if we're really getting into it, I hate the W. I hate the
Jessica,
W.
wow, you're really in the weeds now. What's wrong with the W?
I hate the W, and I hate that they didn't use
What
the
other
little
letters do
alphabet
you
on the
hate?
broom to dot the I. You have an I, you have
is
the
that what-
opportunity to dot.
Jessica, I thought that was a leaf above the I.
No, it's
I didn't know
alphabet on
that
the
was
broom.
Elsa. A green Elsa?
Alphabet. Shut up.
What's wrong with the damn W?
Okay. I just don't like it. I don't like the font. It's too aggressive. The point at the bottom, it feels like it's attacking me.
They're
I don't
attacking
like
you
it.
with awesomeness.
And I don't, okay, if we're taking it one step further,
I'm
if you're
gonna go
going
all
to
the
go
way.
one color to another color, I would like for it to go green to pink, because the green is alphabet on the left and the pink is Glenda on the right.
You go green to pink because green is the more important part also,
Yes,
isn't it?
I think so.
So you go green to pink.
Okay, fine. Time out.
So when do we call time? Let me know when I can be hateful again. If you're taking a timeout is just a break from something, correct? So we're taking a break from hate,
But
which
then we
means
can come back.
which means we can come back and be hateful. So once y'all figure all that nonsense out, come back. Let me know when I can come back and be hateful.
Shaq told me to take a time out for hate. But
Is
next week it might end.
Jim is in it. Of
Jim's
course,
in
Jim
it.
is in it. So it's a
Let's
timeout.
judge the teas. Who's giving the best teas?
Is a timeout for hate or from hate?
Okay. It's actually timeout against hate.
Timeout against hate.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Doc?
That sure is Doc Rivers. Is that a Buck's like antler?
Where?
Like in front of him? Is he?
No, that's just a generic short.
What's behind him?
Dude's in a white T-shirt. It looks like.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Who else do we got? Oh, Candace. Also taking a timeout against hate.
Her timeout looks so sad. Hers is the saddest. Like she is sad. She
It's like,
is.
oh, I hate that we have to take. I hate that I have to ask you to take a timeout against hate.
Almost Native American man single tearing it in that picture. You remember that commercial? For those of you who are children, Kyra, you might not know this commercial. There was an ad campaign in like the 70s, I think, to try and get people to stop polluting and stop throwing trash out their car window. And there's just this Native American dressed in Native American garb, sort of like a Native American chief, and he's standing there and somebody just throws a tray full of nachos out their window. It lands at my man's feet. He looks into the camera and one tear rolls down his cheek. And that was supposed to be enough to stop people from polluting because Native Americans were crying, even though Native Americans were crying when they were walking the literal trail of tears, and that didn't stop anything bad from happening to them. So, yeah, that was a terrible ad campaign. I say all that to say Candace Parker looks almost as sad as that guy does.
We're going to get our first ad for it during Thursday Night Football. Two people involved that we didn't get to see, Billie Jean King and Joe Torre. I've always thought if Joe Torre can take a timeout against hate, I can take a timeout against hate. I want to be perfectly clear as I completely dunk all over this. I would love for us to stop all hate. I am against anti-Semitism. I'm against racism. I'm against all the phobias. Get out homophobia. Get out Islamophobia. Get out misogyny. I hate hate. So actually, I don't want to take a timeout against hate. I want to go a full-on press hating hate. Yeah, full court press hating hate. That's my campaign. Mm-hmm.
Hey, let's
We
hate
can't stop. I'm not going to stop until we all hate hate, until it takes over the league. Not a timeout against it. A timeout? When does how long is this timeout? Most timeouts are pretty short. 30 seconds?
I mean, unless it's
3 minutes? Is it a
football
TV timeout?
Or March Madness, right? March
Those
Madness
are
has
long.
ridiculous
You're right.
timeouts.
That's a ridiculous
Are we
amount of
taking a March
timeouts.
Madness timeout from hate? I get the point. I can appreciate what they're trying to do. I think the execution is piss poor.
I would have to agree. Get back to it. Back to the drawing board, Robert
again.
Kraft.
Try that again, Big Bob.
My favorite is the page 6 article on this. The title is How Robert Kraft Met with Commissioners of All Major Sports Leagues to Launch His Foundation's Latest Campaign. Again, a wonderful message.
Support it.
We hate. They're in a league of their own. Patriots owner Robert Kraft's foundation to combat anti-Semitism is launching a new campaign with the commissioners of all major sports leagues to build his team for #TimeOutAgainstHate. We hear that Kraft met behind closed doors earlier this year with sports commissioners, including literally all of them. For this new ad spot and campaign is the first of its kind in uniting sports leagues, its commissioners, and star athletes to champion the fight against all hate. We've never championed the fight against all hate before. What have we been doing?
Being racist, bigoted, sexist, misogynistic? What do you mean? What have we been
They
doing?
told me to end. They put end racism. They put end racism in the end zones, and I thought that was the end.
Yeah, well, that racism ended, but they didn't put end sexism in the end zone, in misogyny,
anti-Semitism.
Right. Is there enough space on the
They
football
should have
field
just
for
said
all of these
end
messages?
hate. But then it was going to be, we don't have
That's
to
what
have
we
a
need.
hate Olympics.
Instead of the line markers, instead of it being numbers, we just need to have end whatever we need to end, right? So instead of it being the 50, it can be end hate. And then at the 40, end racism. At the 30, end sexism. At the 20, end homophobia. At the 10, end Islamophobia. And then in the end zone, end anti-Semitism, right? We can just do that. And then instead of being,
I feel like
he's going from the 40, the 30. No, he's going from end racism to end misogyny to end sexism to end homophobia to end anti-Semitism. Touchdown!
This touchdown was brought to you by
4 children in Palestine.
I also love that. I love that timeout is the hashtag. It's not timeout against hate. Like the hashtag, that's a long hashtag, so that would not work. The hashtag is just timeout.
Just timeout.
WK said, why does that meeting have to be behind closed doors? I agree. Why can't it be out and about?
Because people will be hateful about it.
Oh my God, if you're hating the stop hate message, we're
we've
lost
had-
as a country.
We've been lost.
Wow.
You act like we haven't had people be anti-hate and get murdered.
Okay, can I talk about something I love? Because I feel like this has been a hateful set between the wicked and hating the anti-hate campaign. I love cougar movies.
Why? What? Do you view yourself as one of those yet?
No, but I think I view myself as one in the future. Happily married. Like, I'll continue. But I want to be...
There are married cougars out there.
I just want to be hot mom. I want to be like hot mom wife territory when I'm in my late 50s.
Okay.
Like,
Is that how old you have to be?
I think so. I think you at least have to be. And the reason I came to
According to
this
the industry, I don't
conclusion
think so.
is Netflix announced a new movie that's coming out this week that I had no idea was occurring, and I'm thrilled about it. It's called Lonely Planet. It stars Laura Dern and Liam Hemsworth. Laura Dern is 57. Liam Hemsworth is 34. The plot of this movie is, at an idyllic writer's retreat in Morocco, a newly single novelist finds an unexpected connection with a younger man who's reevaluating his life choices. Sign me all the way up. But we've had so many of these this year. This is the year of the Cougar movie. We had the Idea of You, which was the Harry Styles fan fiction book come to life, starring Anne Hathaway, that came out earlier this year that I actually really enjoyed, where it's an older woman who falls in love with like a young pop star. We had Nicole Kidman and Zac Efron in A Family Affair, where Zac Efron is now 36 years old, Nicole Kidman is 57. So again, 57 seems to be that sweet spot. And I think we should have more of these. But it did get me thinking, when it is an older man with a much younger woman, there's a predatorial element to it that comes out. And when it's an older woman with a hot young man, I'm like, get him, Tiger.
But if it was this age discrepancy, that wouldn't be predatory, would it?
No.
Like
But that's my point. And it's not predatory.
It's not her with a 19. It's not her
Right.
with Timothy Chalamet, right? It's her.
I mean, but it could be. There'd be nothing wrong with that.
That would be odd. Timothy's like 20.
No, he's not.
How old is Timothy?
He's 28.
Okay,
He's almost 30.
What's another young one?
I don't know any youths
I don't
that
know.
young.
What's the Riz King kid?
The Rizzler.
He
plays for the Knicks now. Have you heard?
I have no clue.
I
who
actually
those
think
people
he's
are.
adorable.
I know you do. You're the
He's
problem.
really cute.
You're the problem. If it was her with the Rizzler, we'd say, okay, that's.
Well, yeah,
a
the
bridge
Rizzler
too
is a
far.
freaking child.
Oh, well, you say that like the child in Blank Check wasn't straight up pulling the FBI agent and didn't get a kiss at the end of the movie from her.
Oh, yeah. That was gross. I don't like
Was
that.
it?
That was different.
It was
Yeah,
great.
that was different.
I didn't think it was gross.
I just love this notion of like all these old men have been pulling hot young women for a long time, and the hot old women deserve to have the hot young men too.
And
equality.
He's not that young.
No, he's in his 30s.
Yeah, that's fine. Give me an actress in her 30s.
Why do you keep asking me such
Because you know these people.
I don't know their ages.
You don't know their ages?
Actresses in their 30s.
What is
Jennifer Lawrence.
Okay, perfect.
Margot Robbie.
Perfect. Jennifer Lawrence and Matt Damon.
Alexandra Daddario.
Like, Jennifer Lawrence and Matt Damon.
I said
wouldn't-
that for you, men.
That wouldn't be weird, would it?
No.
But Matt Damon with Zendaya.
But Leonardo DiCaprio with.
Listen,
he has a reputation, though.
listen, that's not acting. That is life right there.
Since we're calling out racism,
are we
on this show?
Are
Yeah,
we?
we are. As a group, I was just looking through. Like IMDb has, I said actresses in their 30s, and I clicked on it, and I've gone like 45 deep, and thus far. They are all white.
Yeah.
Every single one. Yeah. Where are the black actresses in their 30s? I know they exist.
Do they?
Yes.
Who is one?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I'm at 60.
You
I'm
can't
at
name
66. I need a list in front of me. I couldn't name a white actress who was in her 30s without a list in front of me. I'm at 79. I'm still going.
Still no black actress.
I'm still going. Okay, we got one.
Who?
Zazie Beetz.
How
She was
old
on
is-
Atlanta. She was in Joker. She's in Deadpool 2.
Okay, yeah.
She's cute.
Domino. She's wonderful.
Yeah.
Superb.
And then right after her was Zoe Kravitz.
Okay.
So we got 2 in a row. Okay. They went a real streak without one, and then they gave us 2 in a row. And then they said, that's enough, because I don't think... Oh, it ends at 88 with Zoe Kravitz.
There
That's
we go.
the end of the
we
list.
got 2 in there.
Well, don't worry. We're going to see all of the black actresses who are in their 30s will be coming out, as will everybody, for the annual Met Gala. We got the theme for this year's Met Gala, and everyone is always, and by everyone, I mean those of us who follow these things and not CJ, who could care less what the Met Gala theme is.
No.
But I think this one is...
I couldn't care less.
Exactly.
If
I'm sorry.
I could, I would.
My bad. Thank you for the grammatical
welcome.
correction
Your
in that
mama's
moment.
thanking me.
I think you might be interested in this one. Maybe? The theme was revealed yesterday.
I've got nothing but jokes on this.
Good. It deserves. It is super fine, tailoring black style, focusing on the history of the black dandy. The honorary chair this year is LeBron James. The co-chairs are A$AP Rocky, Coleman Domingo, Lewis Hamilton, Pharrell Williams. Shout out Coleman Domingo. I am so secure in my bet. I wish I had an actual money bet on it that he will win a Best Actor Oscar in the next 5 years. I think he is one of like the brightest rising, soon to be like capital S superstar in movies, and he always slays at the Met Gala, and so it makes sense that he's a co-chair. But this is the first time ever that the event will focus solely on the work of black designers, and it's the first time in a long time that it will focus on menswear. So we'll see if men can finally understand the assignment of the Met Gala, because they always struggle just a little bit, just a titch with that when we get to the Met Gala. Here's how the curator in charge described the theme. He said that the goal is to demonstrate what happens to the concept of the dandy as defined by Beau Brummel in Regency England when it's racialized. When, for example, an enslaved person is treated as a luxury object to be dressed up and displayed, and how those clothes in turn were appropriated by the enslaved and used to subvert existing systems and create new identities. Which white person do you think misses the mark the most with this theme?
Oh, gosh. I can't tell you which one. Over, under, I'm going to say 8.5. Over, under 8.5 white people who make you really, really uncomfortable on the red carpet. Because there's a lot that you can do there. Never mind. I was thinking blackface. That's where I was going with this at first.
Oh, God, no one's going to do that.
Who's rolling up it with some type of... Oh, somebody's absolutely coming through with some type of blackface. 1, 2.
If I was a white person, I wouldn't even get a spray tan for the Met Gala this year.
Now we can throw in chains and other forms of oppression and enslavement onto the fit. Like, who's going to come in? Now, I didn't know this was the description.
Okay.
So I'm
glad to give some extra
set it at
barriers.
8.5. How many people usually walk the red carpet?
Hundreds.
Let's bump it up because it'll be more than 10%. 15.5, 15%. Somebody's showing up with a noose necklace. Somebody's absolutely doing that. No. Don't look at me. I'm just telling you what the world is that we live in.
I'm just telling
Read the description again.
All the white people who go to the Met Gala, you better have this is going to be the proof of who actually has black friends in the industry. Because if you are going to the Met Gala, you should absolutely call your group, call your people, and clarify before you do anything, before your team puts you out in something that is going to get you absolutely killed.
It won't be just white people, though. It'll be black people also. We don't understand how to appropriately.
We don't understand themes, period.
These sorts of things, and you're theming it. There will be a black person, guarantee you. There'll be a black person, all white, with a white robe with the hood that they can put up. Guarantee you. Guarantee it.
I think this is the most anticipated Met Gala.
They might have a cross on fire across their neck, right? I guarantee you that will be somebody's fit. Over, under, you say hundreds of people walking.
What's the safest thing you could wear? I think just like a crisp suit.
A zoot suit? Super baggy, pinstripes, hat. And the wingtip shoes.
Okay.
That will be it. Over, under 15 and a half people you see, not just white people that you see at this Met Gala, you're like, oh, that is, no. Right now, the line is over, under 15 and a half.
Yeah, I take the over.
You take the over?
I take the over. Yeah, I think that's an easy over to take. The Met Gala is always, it's also just such a socially, it always feels very Hunger Games-esque. It doesn't situate itself very well in normal people's society. So it already trends in that direction. Like there's already, the Met Gala in nature is offensive, is a representation of the vast wealth discrepancies in this country. And it has been getting more and more heightened of people criticizing the Met Gala for sheerly existing. And now you throw this grenade onto it too. I love that they're highlighting black designers. Like that is well overdue. And the fact that they understand that it's well overdue. But this is a hell of a theme to roll it off with.
Highlight black designers. We're not theming things using any other atrocity like that, right? Like, come on, man. Come on. Somebody showing up in a cotton burlap sack. Who is it?
No.
Somebody showing up. Somebody's dress is going to be long and flowing and white and beautiful. And you're going to look back. It's like, wait, are those cotton balls? Kim Kardashian will have a flowy cotton ball dress that you can walk up and touch and even pick if you are so inclined.
That's brutal. All right. Well, on that note, everybody, happy Grizzlies game day. It's a Grizzlies game day. As I said, we have a new pregame show-ish thing. So I need to sell that way better. My apologies. Lang Whitaker, though, is going to host the warm-up starting tonight at 6 on Grind City Media. You can find it. I'll be joining it along with many other people who will pop in ahead of tonight's Grizzlies-Hornets game. You can catch the game on Bally Sports Southeast, 7 o'clock. You can also catch it on the Memphis Grizzlies radio network. The great Eric Hasseltine, radio voice of the Memphis Grizzlies, will be on the call, and we will be back tomorrow to talk about it. It will be a Friday. Woohoo! We'll see you then. Bye.
This damn Met Gala nonsense. Are you kidding me? That's ridiculous.
I hate that. I hate the Wicked poster. I hate the anti-hate campaign.